Welcome back to podcast. Today we are going to read an email from Taehun, a Korean guy. He's Korean, and the story is about his relationship with African American girlfriend. I couldn't generalize about all black women. I really felt that unique energy and warm care. I hugged her and cried so much. His nickname was Lion because he only eats meat and drinks. Marriage is reality, but at the same time, the happiness and emotional status is also reality. Even if you're making good money, if you're not happy, you cannot last long. Hello, Jed. My name is Taehun, and I live in Seoul. About a month ago, I came across your channel by chance, and the video I watched was a man who fell in love with a black woman. Since I'm also dating a black woman now, I could relate a lot, and I wanted to share my own story. 3 years ago, I was dating a Korean girlfriend. We had known each other since college, and at first, we were deeply in love and happy together. But after she started working, I began to feel a distance between us. She became more financially stable, and the restaurants, dates, and the trips she wanted started to become a burden for me. My dream had always been to be a photographer. I wanted to take documentary photos of nature and wildlife. Of course, it wasn't something that made much money. Back in school, when I won awards in photo contests, my ex-Korean girlfriend was happy with me. But after she became a full-time worker, she said things like, "How long are you going to be satisfied with that?" I lost confidence. For her birthday, I even sold my favorite camera lens, just to buy her a gift. But one day, she started talking about a male senior friend, and soon after, she stopped contacting me. In the end, we broke up. You know what I mean, right? Yes. Not long after, she married that man. That was a huge shock for me, and for a while, I couldn't even live my daily life properly. Eventually, I sold all my cameras and equipment and got an office job at a foreign company. That's where I met Michelle. I was discouraged back then, but she always greeted me with a bright smile. And thanks to her, I started to smile again. Of course, I couldn't generalize about all black women, but from her, I really felt that unique energy and warm care. About a year later, I confessed my feelings to her, and she accepted. Whenever I opened up about my past wounds, Michelle was always there to comfort me and give me strength. One moment I'll never forget was last Christmas. She invited me to her place, saying she had something important to tell me. I wondered if she was going to ask me to go to the US together, but instead, she gave me a gift box. Inside was a camera and lens. She said, "Taehun, your dream is too beautiful to give up. I'll be here always. Take your camera and let's begin again." I hugged her and cried so much. As I said, I hate to sell my lens just to please my ex-girlfriend. But now, Michelle was someone who truly cared about me and my dreams. Even now in Korea, people sometimes misunderstand the international couple, thinking that I'm dating her out of curiosity. But through my story, I want to show that Michelle is not just a foreigner, but a wonderful and genuine woman. I hope your channel continues to grow with more diverse stories, and that's why I wanted to share mine. Thank you, sincerely, Taehun.
Wow, it's a very beautiful story.
Great story.
Yeah.
Lucky man. Although he went through heartbreaking time with Korean ex. I can relate, obviously. You know my ex stories, who never mentioned my artwork, also along with my parents, thinking that my artwork is a hobby and blah, blah, blah. Some of my exes told me to get a real job because I was pursuing my dream as an artist. My parents too. But for me, I expected this from my Korean exes and my parents. So I was not hurt as much. But again, I was hoping to meet someone different. Maybe there's someone who would understand my pursuit of my dream.
Yeah, personally, I feel for him because, many Korean women thinking that our dreams is kind of childish. You have to find the reality. As you said, 결혼은 현실이다. the marriage is a reality. You have to find your job, make money, and build our future. Yeah, we feel quite burdened. So
I think the whole reason is because a lot of my exes, I cannot generalize Korean women, but most of my exes didn't look at long-term happiness in me, like a long-term happiness in your husband, long-term happiness in your wife, potential wife. When I was stable 9 to 5 at corporate, no one asked me what I wanted to do with my life. Although I didn't stay there for long, so I only had one Korean ex. She never asked me what I wanted to do with my life because I already had a stable job that I could stay there for maybe 20 years without being sacked. 20 years, 15 years, usually corporate life is that long. But I think a lot of people in Korea, they only look at that, the first half of your midlife, starting from in your 30s. I think it's less than a half, in my opinion, less than a half, because we're going to live longer than obviously over 60 and 70s now. I think it's quite wild. A lot of Korean couples, they decided to marry someone just because they have a stable job now that could last long for maybe 15 years, 20 years top. They don't really ask each other what they want to do with their lives. I think that's why we have a lot of divorce. The numbers of divorce is increasing dramatically. And then soon after, they realize that their values and things they want to do with their life is so different, and they start to argue. And when the bubbles of honeymoon period is gone, when the kids are grown, they have nothing to share because they usually don't really have a deep conversation, and they just get in a rush to marry and have kids. And when they realize that your partner has a different interest, is usually too late. So I think this black lady, Michelle, I think she has a long-term vision with Taehoon, and the Korean ex Taehoon she had a very short-term vision. And Taehoon mentioned like a 선배, senior guy at work. It happens a lot when we just start to work for our first job. Things are exciting. You're getting paid every month, stable. Most likely she has a good job. Then she's in a bubble, and then she looks at the coworkers or the senior members of the company. The life seems so happy in future. I have a good example of Taehoon's ex-girlfriend. It's very similar. So when we join the corporates like Samsung, LG, Hyundai, SK, whatever, they send you to the training camp for like 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks. Mine was like 6 weeks, like 4 weeks and 2 weeks. Anyway, so when you're stuck with freshmen, you tend to fall in love with your coworkers as a freshman, because you're just starting now after university or postgraduate school. Your future looks so bright. And you're also proud of yourself for getting a job at corporates, and your parents love it. Society, they love it. So I was told from my senior friends from postgraduate school in Korea, they told me, don't date anyone. Do not date anyone while you're in the camp. That's when you're together, spending so much time and doing like a project, like a practice project, field project with your coworkers, and you're a freshman, you're excited, and you're getting the monthly check, and you don't know what to do with that money. It's not like fuck you money, but it's pretty good money for your age. And there's a bubble, like it's a trap. My 선배, the senior friend, told me from graduate school. He told me it's a bubble. It's a trap that you easily fall into. A lot of people, they look down on their girlfriend and boyfriend because you meet someone just like you in training camp, and a lot of Koreans saying that 대기업 job is a corporate job is like a prestigious, and you have like a bright future, and you should date someone like you or above. Naturally, it's not your fault, but naturally, a lot of people started to look down on your existing girlfriend and boyfriend. Like you don't really appreciate them anymore. So I had this girl in my team, and we were in the same group in the training camp too. So we became friends. As a friend, she was not really my good match as a friend, but she kind of had a thing with my another friend. He was a little bit older. He was young, and this was 동생. And there's a little bit of a age gap. They both had a girlfriend and boyfriend. So this girl, she went to school in Yeonsei, and she had a boyfriend in Yeonsei, but different department. But I can't remember exactly what he was studying, but it was not something very useful to get a job in Korea. Usually the useful job in Korea is usually the major of like engineering or business, stuff like that. But he was not doing any of those. I think he was art related, but I can't remember. I remember her mentioning that her current boyfriend doesn't really have a bright future with this major, although he was doing like a PhD or a master's, I can't remember. But she already, it sounded like she was looking down on the boyfriend. I didn't like that. And then this guy, later on they became a couple, but at the time in the camp, training camp, he also had a girlfriend in school. You know, in Korea, everything is about trend, even jobs. So, okay. So back then, when I was a freshman in LG, 공무원 was a popular job.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Super popular.
Everyone wants to be a
if you work for government, if you're a civil servant, you're top of the food chain in the dating market, especially like a marriage agency like Duo or 소개팅 market, blind dates. You are so popular, especially school teacher.
They also feel like chuffed, yeah.
And they're so proud. They flex all the time. Obviously the salary is not high, but having a job that is stable was the best thing at the time. So working for district office or being a school teacher is like one of the best things. Not like that anymore, but as I said, in Korea, everything is about fucking trend. So this guy, the LG guy, his girlfriend at the time was a school teacher. And he was a big drinker. His nickname was Lion. Because he only eats meat and drinks. You know, when he eats bibimbap, he takes out everything. But rice and a little bit of meat, he mixed it in with the gochujang. It was fucking crazy. Anyway, he was a big drinker. We called him a lion. And so he only eats meat and a makgeolli, meat and a soju was famous. But again, he was quite smart. So he kind of stood out. And they had an interest, right? And one day he told me that he has funny feelings about his girlfriend. So it's like, what's up? Even back then, I never asked, but they were more than happy to tell me. He told me that his girlfriend at the time just became a school teacher. It was like a second year, her second year in school. His girlfriend told him that she has an interest in a PE teacher. And he was not even full-time. It was like a part-time, a beginner level. 교생, something like that. A bit later, because we spent like a 6 weeks there, he told me that actually she is kind of dating him, so like cheating on him now. So we had a break. We had a 4 weeks training, and I think we had like a 1 or 2 weeks break, and then another 2 weeks of training. So during that break period, he had a talk with a girlfriend, and she told him that I don't want to date you anymore. I wanna date the PE guy. Because he's fit. You know, PE teachers, they bang a lot of people, like coworkers and moms and blah blah blah. It's like a stereotype. So it's not true, but stereotype. But anyway, so but in this case, it's true. So she was dating him. So I want to break up with you, or whatever. Like LG, Samsung, I don't care about you. So let's break up. And he tried to convince her. At the same time, he was being a hypocrite because I know there was something going on between him and the girl who had a boyfriend in graduate school. He is not working clearly. Again, both of them were more than happy to tell me everything. So I was like, I was in the middle. I was like, okay. And eventually, she dumped him. So he was a little bit hurt. But again, he was doing transition dating. Yeah. So transition dating is something that you prepare to date someone else when you have a boyfriend and girlfriend already. So it's like we call it 환승연애, transit. In your flight, you have a transition, right? So you transit from one girlfriend to another, one boyfriend to another. So he had well prepared for the next move. It's kind of fair because she cheated on him. The second training, 2 weeks. As I said, we had a 2 weeks of a break after 4 weeks of training. She dumped him too. So they're free. And then the 2 weeks, they're always together. They're not even in the same team. I was same team with the girl. But they were spending the time together the whole 2 weeks. It was like a honeymoon. So to wrap up this story, I looked at the story this way. What they did was not really morally right, in my opinion, an emotional affair. As far as I know, there's nothing physical. And also this guy was rather cheated on by his ex. But this girl, she dumped him on purpose because although the guy was dumped and was cheated on by his ex, during the first 4 weeks of training, they already had a thing emotionally. And they did admit that. And I saw that happening. I felt like they made this choice because it was convenient. And they thought they would have a bright future together. And clearly, everything checks out because they joined LG together. They know each other's salary, which is very clear. And they know their school, they know their age, they know where they live. And then, they share about the family background. Everything checks out for both of them. So soon after, they got married. Long story short, their marriage is falling apart.
Oh.
It's quite bad. I think the Taehoon's ex-girlfriend was quite typical Korean girlfriend. It's not only Korean girlfriend, it goes to boyfriend too. It happens from both genders.
Yeah, on the other hand, the Michelle was very supportive. I'm very impressive what she said. Your dream is too beautiful to give up. I'll be here always. Take your camera and let's begin again. Oh, it's so beautiful. But
It's very sweet.
yeah.
Okay, so I had a back and forth with Taehoon. We exchanged a few emails, and he told Michelle that he really appreciated what she said in the email. Your dream is too beautiful to give up. And Michelle told Taehoon that Michelle grew up with her father. And Michelle said in her neighborhood, a lot of her friends didn't have a father. So they grew up with a single mom or grandparents. Michelle values family a lot. Family is very important to her. So she told Taehoon that having a happy husband is one of the most critical elements in having a family. So she said money is important, as all of us say, marriage is reality. But at the same time, the happiness, mental state, and emotional status is also reality. Even if you're making good money, if you're not happy, you cannot last long.
지난번에 그 얘기했잖아요. 그러니까 과거 연애에서 되게 힘들었던 것 중에 하나가 내 여자친구가 내 꿈이나 내가 하고 싶은 거는 네 문제고 파이낸셜 문제,
Right.
우리의 문제, 내
Yeah.
문제 약간 이렇게 여기는 것에 대해서 되게 좀 실망을 하고 상처를 받고 그랬던 얘기를 했었잖아요.
My recent ex, 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now, my last two exes, Korean exes, they seem like my financial problem was also their problem, but again, my emotional problem was not their problem. My dreams and my values were never their interest, but my financial status was always their focus. And what kind of job I had at the time was also a critical factor for them to decide continue to date me or not, or even marry me or not. I understand that, of course, what kind of job you have, what kind of money you're making is critical, yes. But coming back to the same point, is this something your girlfriend wants? Or she hates her job, but at the same time, she's making a lot of money. What would you do? I would tell her to find something at least you don't hate. Doing something you love, it doesn't happen to everybody in life. It's unfortunate, but it's quite realistic. But if you wake up in the morning and you hate your job, you start your day miserably and you feel worthless, and the money you make, it doesn't make you happy. So I would rather have my girlfriend or my wife doing a job that she does not hate. If she loves her job, that's the best. But if that's not the case, then I would rather have her doing something else that she does not hate. At least when she wakes up in the morning, she's not miserable. And I have to deal with that too. And it goes the same way about me and my wife. Like me waking up miserably, like I was feeling sad in the morning, and she has to deal with that. That's not good. So that's what I mean by a lot of us Koreans, including myself, we have only like a short-term vision of happiness. Some people say that, I am the center of my life and my happiness always matters. But again, if you're thinking about marriage, your partner's happiness and mental status matters a lot. My mom also said, what I'm going to say is very Korean because it's something that my mom said a long time ago. It was LG time. She told me that because she thought I was going to get married soon. Because I was working for LG, she thought I was going to find a wife soon. And she told me that, hey son, if you can, please find the girl who is healthy, like physically healthy. Because my parents' generation, the mental and emotional status is not really a thing. But from our generation, is mental status and emotional states is quite important. But my mom said that I would not like that if you date someone who is sick often and doesn't seem very healthy or doesn't take care of herself. So why do you care? And she said, imagine a house where mom and wife is sick. The whole household will seem miserable and sad. And your kids will be sad too. And which is why you should take care of yourself as well. But she was missing the emotional part. But again, that's different generation. And she said, so your wife being healthy is a critical factor because I have a friend who is not well. And she was always not well as a kid. And she's the same now. And her husband is always worried about her health. And her kids are always worried about mom. And she can't do like a long distance trip. She gets sick and tired early. And she looks sick. It goes the same way with mental status and your emotional status as well. Your happiness. If you marry someone who is not happy with the current life, it has a lot to do with money status and the job, the dream. So if you live with someone who hates a job, the mood of your family, your household will be always down. It's always, you will have a dark house. Yeah. So don't worry too much about how much your wife is making. Make sure she loves her job. That's what I say. My mom's focus was more about the health, but it goes the same way as this and this. So I think that Taehoon, even if he married his Korean ex and gave up on his dream earlier, so she didn't leave him, and he got a nice job at, let's say, Samsung, SK, I don't think long-term the Taehoon would have been very, very, very happy because now he has Michelle and he sounds very happy. When I exchanged emails with Taehoon, he sounded very, very, very happy.
Personally, I love Michelle's vibe. She greeted him very bluntly. In the last episode, I asked you, like, when did you feel happy when you're dating? And you said, like, when I saw her, and then she looked at you, and then she smiled, and then you feel like very happy, satisfied with it.
태훈도 같은 걸 느꼈을 것 같아요. 딱 미셸을 봤을 때 미셸이 막 웃어주고 뭔가 이렇게 따뜻한 에너지틱하고 막 밝고 약간 이런 것들에 대해서 막 힘을 좀 많이 얻었을 것 같아요.
I also said this in my last video that one of my exes that I dated, she always gave me a big smile, big hug, and a kiss on my cheek. And she genuinely seemed happy whenever we had a date. I think that changes Taehoon's mood a lot. Michelle did the same from the emails. Like she greeted with a big smile. Maybe because she already had a crush on him. I assume she was genuinely happy to see him. And she showed that. Including myself, a lot of Koreans, we don't really show our emotion outside like that. We are not good at it. Also, the culture is a little bit like that. Not all of us are like that, of course, but I am like that as well. But a lot of Western people that I've met or dated, they are more open to express their feelings from the smile and the way they speak to you, also the hug and the kiss. I think Michelle did that without obviously kissing and hugging. So I think that opened Taehoon's heart. That's why they're together now. Last week in Dongdaemun, I saw a couple, interracial couple, a black girlfriend and a Korean boyfriend. I saw them. Cute couple. Yeah, holding hands. They actually stood out. The email says they stand out too. They stood out actually. Although I'm used to seeing interracial couple like a Korean guy, white girlfriend, Korean guy, black girlfriend, not black girlfriend actually. On YouTube there are a lot. It seems like there are a lot of black girlfriend or black wife and Korean husband or Korean boyfriend. Personally, it was my first time last week. Young couple too, in the 20s for sure. My friend said she is very beautiful, but she was okay. She was cute, but she had a very nice skin, and she looked very young. And the boyfriend looked young too. They're holding hands. They're not really touching or hugging, but holding hands. It was very cute. Cute couple. And I was thinking, because the black girl was a little bit short, I wouldn't call her tall, and the boyfriend was not very tall either. And I was thinking, a lot of Korean girls wouldn't like him because he's not that tall. Because Western people don't really care about the height, not so much. Non-Korean girls I spoke to, mostly, said the same thing. They just, my boyfriend has to be just taller than me. That's it. Doesn't matter how tall, but just a little bit taller than me. I'm good. Yeah, it was a cute couple. Taehoon also told me that he never had an interest in foreign girls. Michelle is his first non-Korean girlfriend, and Taehoon told me that she really made him open up for her and touching the soft spot. We all have soft spots, mostly small, but yeah, my soft spot is pretty tiny. But anyway, so she touched it by that gift, the camera and the lens, and she said, "Your dream is too beautiful to give up." Taehoon really wanted to tell me that she's not dating her just because he's curious, unlike the boys in Hongdae. I don't know, like, because I receive a lot of emails like this. Taehoon didn't have to remind me. But at the same time, eyes of public in Korea, a lot of people assume that Korean men are dating foreign women because we are curious. Yeah, thanks to Hongdae boys. Yeah, fuck them. From the emails I exchanged with Taehoon, he seemed genuine. And he seemed like a nice dude. Good for him. Although he's been through some shit, I think he's a good guy, and he's very lucky to have a girlfriend like Michelle. They didn't send me the pictures. Don't send me any pictures, please. God. Anyway, sounds like a cute couple. I wish the best of luck for them. And thank you for watching. We'll be back with more episode. Bye.